This is YSM Sports Media. Want to thank you for all your love and support. Really appreciate it. We wouldn't be able to do this without you. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now and click the notification button for all future content.
What's good, Rick?
What's going on? Nothing. How are you, sir? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I've been here with Rick Ramos. What's good?
Nothing, man. Just hanging out. Just got done working out. Hold on, sorry. Nothing. Just here, trying to stay busy. Quarantine life. You know how it is.
So, how did you get involved in training? Rick, you hear me?
Boxing when I was like 12 years old. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, it kind of glitched up a little bit.
Oh, my bad. I started fighting when I was 12 years old. So I've been in the gym 30 years now. Longer than that. Shit. I'm 44. So 34 years I've been in the gym. So it's been a long time. You know what I mean? I've been in and out of gyms for a very long time. 32 years.
All right. How long did you box?
I've been active. My first fight, I think I was 13. I think my last fight, I think I was 30. So it was on and off. You know, I started trading in the stock market when I was 21. So I took some years off. You know, started making money. I didn't have to fight. So you know how that goes. I rather wear white collar than a headgear. So so it's been up and down. But I always wanted to stay in the game. So I started managing fighters and opened up a gym. So just trying to be active in the sport.
Now you're a one-stop shop. Like you advise, you manage, you train, and you fought. Do you feel like all that experience helped you like when taking a fighter from step one to championship level, like as in Jessica?
Yeah, totally. It's from a marketing standpoint, it's my social circle. I feel like I have a nice reach, white collar to blue collar, and everything in between. So, yeah, I mean it's great. I think I bring a lot of different types of variety of fans to the sport and to my fighters because we sell tickets here in Chicago. Jessica was the main event in Chicago, the first time ever a female was. So plus, the fact that I have a job and the fact that I can buy tickets for us, the fact that I can fund a lot of the stuff myself, it puts me in a position of promoters and other managers taking my phone call because they know I'm serious. I'm not just some guy who's looking for a backer. I back myself. I have no partners.
How many fighters are you actively training / managing?
I manage Alejandra Ayala. She's in Tijuana, Mexico right now. I'm working with Josh Hernandez. I have Summer Lynn, who's 18 years old, professional. I train and manage her, and I train and manage Jessica. So right now I have this kid Owen Saldana. Excuse me. So I'm working with 5 fighters right now on the manager level. I'm training probably 20 fighters. So I'm just trying to be active. I want to be on the A side. I definitely don't want to be a B side, manager or coach or nothing. So I got to make sure we win these fights and put my guys in position, girls and guys in position to win and make money.
Okay. Now I remember at one time you were advising Granados.
Hey, a lot of people don't know that. Early in his career, Adrian and I had a friendship, and we still have a friendship. I helped him out early in his career. Whatever he needed. And trying to guide him through his career. We would talk. We still talk. We talked up until the last Danny Garcia fight. So that was a fight that I didn't really like for him. I think I could have got the Jesse Vargas fight for him in Chicago, and I thought that was a better fight for him at the time. And I'm not sure if he liked it or not. He had mentioned that he didn't want to be at 147, and because I have a good relationship with Eddie Hearn, that fight was really possible. So he was looking to go another route at the time, and I really wish I could have helped him because I feel like him and I go back. You know, I knew him when he was an amateur, so I wish I could have helped him, and I think he could have beat Jesse Vargas. So, you know, we're still good friends, and we talk here and there. So I think he's in Mexico right now, but you know, Adrian will always be my friend, and you know, we have a good relationship, and I'm always here for Adrian, whatever he needs.
A lot of fans and media really don't understand the business part of boxing,
Mm-hmm.
and I
For
feel
sure.
like a lot of trainers and fighters get shit for moving a certain way with, you know, fighting a guy at a particular time and
Mm-hmm.
then you know, not fighting a guy back to back to back. What goes into picking fights?
Here, a perfect example. Like, I'll just use Jessica, right? I mean, here, like, let's use Adrian first. Like, Adrian Granados, I would love to get him that Jesse Vargas fight because I think he could have beat Jesse Vargas. I thought that was a realistic fight, and I think that would have been a barn burner, crowd pleaser, and it was in Chicago. So, you know, it was for, I think it would have been for like a WBC silver or something like that. A situation like that, even if Adrian made it close, he could build a relationship with Eddie Hearn and kind of get out of that PBC web, if you will. I just think he's stuck in that PBC Al Heyman web when you know they're not really, you know, the paydays are okay, but you know I still think Adrian needs to win. But aside from that, and to get to the point, I guess in a situation like Jessica, like a lot of people are like, Rick, you're crazy. The Cecilia Braekhus fight don't make sense, but it makes total sense to me. She's the biggest name in female, one of the biggest names in female boxing. She has 5 belts. She's 38 years old, right? She's not fast. She's not powerful. You know, they're bringing in Abel Sanchez. I think that's the wrong coach to bring in at the end of your career because, you know, Triple G left her because, you know, he's rugged. He's got that Mexican style. He wants to come forward and he makes you want to fight. He tries to push his fighters to fight and come forward. If Cecilia Braekhus comes forward and wants to fight Jessica, she's going to get hurt. And I don't think at 38 years old, that's a smart idea. And I'm not just saying it just because Jessica's my fighter. I mean, she's 38 years old. She's weak. You know, Kelly Reese, who I like a lot. I actually like that girl. She beat up. She started too late. Like if she would have put that pressure on Cecilia earlier, she could have beat her up and won that fight. But again, that goes to your corner. Like you've known that. I was shocked that they couldn't pull that fight off. To get to your point, sorry. So we have 2 belts at 140, right? And this is a scenario. We have 2 belts at 140. We have the WBC and the WBA. Everybody knows that. So we go to 144. The fight is at 144. Not 147. So we fight at 144. If we beat her, right? First of all, this is the biggest payday of Justice's career. That's one, right? This pays off the house that Katie Taylor bought for us because Katie bought the first house. You know, that fight bought Jessica a house, and this, yeah. So Cecilia is gonna pay this house off. So that's first and foremost, right? So that's just in it on its own, right? And then if you want to get to logistics on the boxing side of it, if we beat Cecilia, we beat a Hall of Famer. That definitely we have an argument to be in the Hall of Fame. So that's one thing, right? The money's there, the opportunity's there. If we win, there's a rematch clause, but we can call out Cecilia. I mean, we could call out Claressa Shields to come down to 147 if she can make it. I think personally think Claressa can make 147. You know, that's a fight that I would be interested in from a marketing standpoint. Um, we have that option. Clarissa could come down to 145, let's say, if she can make it. That's not my problem if she can make it or not. You know what I'm saying? So she'd have to make 147 if we beat Cecilia. Or we can fight Katie Taylor at 144, and I wouldn't give her any less pounds than that. So Katie Taylor, they want to unify the 147 division. Those fights aren't really at 147. So those fights are at 144. They're going to try to get us down to 142, or whoever has the belts at 147 at 142. That's crazy. But so we don't have anything to lose. You know, if we lose to Cecilia, we go back down to 140 and we defend those belts. If we beat Cecilia, then we got to figure out. I mean, there's a rematch clause, but I think if we beat Cecilia, I don't think Cecilia will physically be ready to fight Jessica again in 3 months. That's just me. And I think she had to get a new trainer because if we beat her, it's going to be because she comes forward and tries to put pressure on Jessica. Jessica's going to hurt her. And I think that won't work. And I don't think Cecilia will go forward with that type of trainer in her corner. So she had to restart everything. And I think because we're in this little 4-woman tournament, Serrano and Katie aren't. We're not going to wait around for her, so she might have to pass on the rematch. So that could give us a rematch with Katie Taylor, and then Cecilia could fight the winner of Katie Taylor versus Jessica. So we could potentially get 3 big money fights out of this. So I think, that's on the upside, right? That's if we win. On the other side, if we lose at 147, we go back down to try to unify 140. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind we could beat Mary McGee. Mary McGee is 33 years old, but her body is like a 43-year-old. Jessica's 35 years old, but her body's like a 25-year-old. She got tons of miles. So Christina, I think we beat easily because Christina, I don't even know how to say her last name. The girl from Greece. I think she got too much emotion. I don't think she's mentally stable, and I think that as long as we taunt her and get in her head, she couldn't win that fight, even if she wanted to, because she just can't not help herself. She'd be over anxious, over eager. Everyone in her circle is kind of emotional and not rational. So, if you don't surround yourself with smart people, good things don't happen. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited for those fights, and female boxing should be excited for those fights. Those are real fights. Those are real opportunities. And those are the biggest names in the sport. Amanda Serrano, Jessica Mccaskill, Cecilia Braekhus, Katie Taylor, and Claressa Shields. Claressa Shields can get it too. If we beat Cecilia and Katie ain't ready, come down, Claressa Shields, come down to 145. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like fights. Men's boxing should take notes from women's boxing because y'all make fights happen.
Well, you know what, too? It's like I feel like these promoters need to listen to me because sometimes I have these good ideas and I have to go the long way because, I haven't, in their mind, I haven't proven myself to be a top-notch, world-class trainer, blah, 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 or top, manager or whatever. Those guys don't work hard. A lot of those guys don't work hard. They got 25 people underneath them who work hard. So I'm over here. I'm the cameraman. I'm the manager, the promoter, the publicist, the lawyer. I'm everything. So it's shit. I'm fucking tired. I'm ready to go. Let's work, real work.
Now, is there when we talk about risk versus reward? Is there a dollar amount on every fight?
That's a good question. The answer to that is, in this point of Jessica's career, I will not let her walk away with nothing. And at this point of her career, she will have big money fights, and every single one of my fighters will have a promotional deal. I think that there's guys who are managing fighters, male and female, who they might have 20 fighters, but none of the fighters have deals. So that to me, it just, or they only work with one promoter. I want to work with everybody. So I don't know. We'll see. I honestly, to answer your question, yeah, I mean, there's a certain dollar amount for every single fighter. If I'm fighting Oscar De La Hoya, I should be making over $1 million. If I'm fighting Floyd Mayweather, I'd be making over $4 million. If I'm fighting Anthony Joshua, I want to make over 10. Canelo, over 10. See what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, we're fighting Katie's, and we're fighting the Katie Taylors, we're fighting the Cecilia Braekhus, or the Amanda Serranos, or the Claressa Shields. Those are 6-figure fights, and not a penny less, and I know there's a lot of girls managed by 1 or 2 or 3 guys that aren't making 50 grand a fight. So, that's on them. Eventually you have to, figure out what, why you're not making that kind of money. I mean, Jessica's living well, and, paid off her college, bought a home, bought a car, just a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of good things happening, and I don't see other people doing that. I see other people online, like, begging for fights, it's crazy.
That's a way of ducking. Is that when promoters send a lowball offer, it's like, okay, yeah, if Canelo's a $10 million fight, but you sending me a $6 million offer, that means you don't really want to fight.
It does and it doesn't. I think to me, I don't take it as, there's been low offers. Trust me when I tell you, I think at one point, just the ridiculous offers that people sent. I remember one time Chantel Cameron's people, long time ago, maybe 2 years ago, they offered to fight Jessica for like $8,000, something ridiculous. I just laughed at him. I said, I can't even counter you because you're so ridiculous. You know what I mean? So like sometimes I feel like they test the people around you, right? So if you're my manager and someone says, hey, will you fight Canelo for $1 million? That means they don't respect you or me. So how do we fix this? See what I'm saying? So I think, I don't necessarily think it's dodging. I just think, they don't want to pay you the money that you think you're worth. And, we all think we're worth more than we really are. And if you're a ticket seller and you're exciting, Jessica's exciting. She's a ticket seller. She's good looking. She's well spoken. I think we can fill the seats, and Jessica's not afraid to fight. I've never, and you can ask Eddie Hearn, I've never turned down a fight. Anytime they call me, you say, yeah, we'll do it. Never. So, now we're just waiting, and the money's got to be right. It's got to make sense. We're not just going to like fight some chick because she wants to fight us, it's got to make sense.
Do you feel like that word gets used too much, ducking?
Yeah, I do. I think, I think a lot of times that, like you said, when someone sends out a low offer, sometimes they want to know like what the market is. So if they say, hey, will you fight Canelo for $1 million? Someone agrees to it. Then they know that might not even be their real opponent. They might be like, okay, if this kid's willing to take $1 million, that means we're not paying somebody else $9 million. That's just ridiculous. So if he's willing to take $1 million, offer somebody $4 million. And if they really don't want to take it, we're stopped out at that guy who would do it for $1 million. We're stopped out with him. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing in the female market. When these females are complaining about not getting paid correctly or whatever, they're still agreeing to these shitty purses. Just say no. Just say no. Like if somebody told me, hey, Jessica, this, that, and the other, like sometimes it's better to go get 2 quick wins and then then come back and revisit that opportunity instead of taking some lowball offer, because ultimately it messes up the market. If everybody's buying t-shirts for $10, why are you paying $25 for it? Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? It doesn't even make sense. So you got to be smart, and I don't think these managers or promoters, they don't care what the market value is. They just spit out some crazy numbers, and I'm real big on like, well, that's not the market value, so I don't want to screw up the market value. I'm not going to take $8,000, $15,000 purses when there's girls out there with big names getting 6 figures. It's ridiculous. There's no way I would do it. I'd rather go get 3 wins real quick somewhere else, and then come back.
As the guy at the helm, you can't be afraid of criticism.
No, you can't be. I mean, I'm not. I mean, I know that some people dislike me or like me or whatever, but, everybody's got their opinion. But once I break down, the real, there's a lot of things I can't disclose because of contractual reasons. But once people know the dollar amount and see what's happening, then they're like, no wonder why you took that fight. I was wondering why, or, this or that. At the end of the day, I got to make sure my fighters can eat, and they have money in the bank when this is all over. And I want to make sure they have something.
Because there's a lot of guys I felt like that just was very negligent in taking certain fights for their guys, and some things just didn't make sense. Why was the zone the right fit?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think a lot of it. Honestly, like they have Katie Taylor, right? Katie Taylor is the leprechaun at the end of the rainbow. So and don't forget, they have Serrano, they have Cecilia, they have the biggest names in boxing. So why would I chase fighters that are that do not have promotional agreements, that their promoter doesn't have $1 billion behind them? The zone makes sense because they just have $1 billion behind them, and it's in the papers. There's no secret. Why would I chase a promoter who's worth $500,000 when I can chase a promoter who's worth $1 billion? Doesn't make any sense. They have the biggest platform in boxing. We shouldn't fight on anything less. That's just me. Canelo, Anthony Joshua, Katie Taylor. I don't even need to keep going. You know the deal.
Yeah. 2 big stars in boxing.
Right. So it is what it is. I think they came with a deal. There was people coming with deals that they were so, like, nowhere near what I thought Jessica was worth. And, Eddie Hearn and I talked, and that was it. He called me one day early in the morning, called me at like fucking 6 a.m. or something, and I was half asleep, and he asked me what I thought, what I wanted, and I told him, and he's like, okay, let's do it. And that was it.
I was telling Jessica the fight that I want to see is her versus Serrano. I think that's a good fight.
Yeah, for sure. You know what, too? Like, Jordan's her brother-in-law / manager. He's a good dude, man. Like, he'll call me. I'll call him. Sometimes we'll bounce around ideas from each other or whatever. And that's a fight that we unofficially agreed to. That would be a great fight for boxing, a great fight for the fans, a great fight for boxing itself, a great fight for both girls. And everybody respects each other. When everybody respects each other, it feels so much better. You know what I mean? It's like I don't have to, worry about like, hey, is Serrano's manager or coach gonna punch me or like, I don't want to deal with that. I don't fight for free. My fighters don't fight for free. So, whatever. That fight could happen. It very well could happen. I hope it does. I hope Serrano wins and, hopefully Jessica wins. And, man, that would be great. I think that would be one of the most exciting fights in boxing. Katie doesn't have power. She don't have power at 135. She definitely won't have power at 140 or 147. So the higher she goes up and the better the opponents, the less power she has and, the less exciting she is. In my opinion.
Is Jessica your first world champion?
Yes, Jessica is my first world champion. But, I think Jessica's the only person who listened to every word I said. I think I had other fighters in the past who the fathers got involved or their cousin got involved. Usually the fathers. I usually have a big issue with the fathers. They're always thinking that their ideas and their opinions are what matters, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes they do, but most times they don't. And I've always I feel like this should be my third world champion. I felt like there was 2 other fighters that could have been a world champion. So we'll see what happens.
Do you feel like the mentality changes once you win a world title? It's like Hunter versus Hunted.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, before I was the guy all over Instagram, like calling out Katie and Eddie Hearn, and then when we got our opportunity, it kind of everybody. First of all, everybody laughed at me. They're like, "Oh, who does he think he is? Thinking he could get a Katie Taylor fight?" Then we got the Katie Taylor fight, and a lot of people thought it was close, and I thought it was a draw or we lost by 1 point. So. Yeah, it was a good fight. It definitely was a good fight. I watched it 50 times, but we could have lost by a round or two. I mean, a round or a draw. So, but now everybody's calling out Jessica's name, which is fine. That means I could do less work. You know what I'm saying? So there's no shortage of fights, right? The line is long, but when it's your turn to be the queen, then you enjoy being the queen until someone dethrones you, and then we have to get back to the drawing board. So right now we're enjoying it.
All right. You beat Cecilia Braekhus in the fight and then the rematch. I know y'all don't like to look ahead, but beating the fight in the rematch. What's the one fight you said possibly Shields, Serrano, Taylor? What's the one fight that you want, like definitively? Like I need that.
So, I think we need to get the Katie Taylor rematch. I think we took that fight because there was no opportunities in boxing. And that was the only opportunity because everybody was scared. No matter what, listen, whoever watches this, every female in the street was scared of Katie Taylor. And Jess and I were like, we'll do it. We'll go to London. We were willing to go to Ireland and do it. And we were just like that. Yeah, we were like I said, I mean, even the Irish Times, they called me and I was like, yeah, we'll go to Ireland. We'll go right now. Like we were so pumped for that fight. I know she doesn't have power, and not for Jessica. She has power against girls that are C-level, D-level, but against Jessica, like she couldn't hurt Jessica. She couldn't hurt Jessica. And if that fight's at 140, I think we beat her. If it's 140 or higher, we beat her. We're gonna beat her up, take her to the street, and beat her. Yeah.
I feel like Jessica kind of exposed her to where as though Pearson used Jessica's game plan.
Yeah.
On Taylor.
No doubt, and I think that Pursoon won that fight. I thought she won, and I thought Katie lost. And yeah, you're right. And like right before the fight with Jessica, I said you got to make it rugged, hit her after the bell, push her. If she holds you, throw her on the ground. Like, you got to make it rugged, you know, and I think that will get to her head. And hopefully she gets points taken away. And she did get 1 point taken away. So the plan kind of worked. It almost worked completely. It should have never been that close on paper. There's, you know, anyone who knows anything about boxing, if you look at the paper, we shouldn't have even got that fight. But we got that fight and turned a career out of it. And for both of us, you know, so we're still building off of that and we're still working. And I like to revisit that. You know, Jessica's more confident, more experienced, better known. I think we get a fair judgment from the judges. And I think we deserve that rematch. You know, we were close to getting it a few times, unofficially. You know, I think if we would have knocked out Erica in the last fight, I think we would have got the Katie rematch right now. I think, I think if we would have knocked out Anaís Sanchez, we would have got the rematch back then. So those are two fights that I think, you know, Jessica got a little overexcited about. And we missed those knockout opportunities. But, you know, we've been working on stuff. And, you know, I honestly think that Jessica will stop Cecilia. I think Cecilia will show up 38 years old. I think her legs will show up 48 years old. And I don't think that she'll be able to handle the pressure. And I don't think she understands the pressure that she's going to get into. And I don't think that Abel Sanchez is the right trainer for this fight. That's just me.
His fighters really don't do well at backing up, like fighting off the back foot.
No. Nope. That's why I was shocked that she brought him in. I was shocked. But it actually, I'm excited for that. You know, I like to beat a Hall of Fame trainer myself. I like to beat him, you know. Not Jessica doesn't just win, I win, right? So I like to beat there's two Hall of Famers on the other side of that ring. And me and Jess want to dethrone both of them. That's it. You know?
I think sometimes fighters just pick trainers based off of name, not really fit.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt. It's crazy. Like, yeah, I mean, how many fighters pick famous, well-known trainers? Almost everybody does. I'll never get a look. Like, I think someone like me is perfect for a guy like Andy Ruiz because I don't take shit. I'll tell Andy Ruiz, like, yo, you can't leave the gym. You know, and those famous trainers, they're so used to making a certain amount of money, they won't even talk back to their to their fighters. I'll throw Andy Ruiz right out of my gym. He ain't got to fire me. I'll throw him out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I got nothing to lose right now. I'm the guy. Either Jess or I had nothing to lose. We're fighting the best. So no one thinks that we can win. So when no one thinks you can win, you're in the best seat in the house because you can only go up when you're at the bottom, right? And no one thinks that we can pull it off. But when we do pull it off, they're going to love us, both of us. So I'm excited.
If you keep winning, you're going to get them phone calls, trust me.
Yeah, I know. And I think that's what I'm saying. Like, I might be like, yo, you missed your opportunity. I don't want to work with you now. I'm busy. I want to turn down fighters. We'll see what happens, though.
Yeah. Thanks, Rick. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. Tell them where to find you on social media.
I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Rick Ramos Boxing. I'm on every social media platform, Rick Ramos Boxing. I'm easy to find. I think I'm one of the most underrated coaches and managers in the game. So give me an opportunity and I'll show you what I can do. I will come through.
All right, thanks, Rick. Man.
No problem, brother. Thank you so much, brother. Take care, bro.
All right. All right, y'all. We out. Want to send a shout out to my affiliate, Three Kings Boxing. Yeah, man, great interview.